Hi everyone, welcome to another crochet tutorial with me, Laura, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make one of my little trick-or-treat pets. So the votes were cast. I don't know if you've been following me on Instagram. I'll put the little link up the top there, so follow my Instagram account. But I asked you which one of my little trick-or-treat pets, my little characters here, that you wanted me to film on camera, because I've only got time to film one of them. But don't worry, I'm going to put all the written variations, because they're quite a similar pattern, all the variations on my website, happyberry.co.uk. But the winner is, shall I do this in order? Shall I say which one came last? So the character that came last was poor Mr. Ghost. He was the least popular, which is probably a good thing because doing white on camera would be a bit difficult. So he came last, and then it was Mr. Zombie. I was quite surprised actually, because he was my favourite little zombie character there. He was next, and then it was my little devil demon character. So he came next, and then in the top three, I think it was Frankenstein actually who came third, little Frankenstein, and it was a close run thing between Pumpkin and Vampire, but Vampire was our little winner. So I'm going to be showing you how to make my little miniature vampire trick-or-treat pet. So for this pattern we are going to be using some black yarn, some white yarn and some red yarn. This is just a DK light worsted weight yarn, so it's a yarn weight of 3. But you can pretty much use any yarn that you like, it's entirely up to you. And with that we're going to be using a 2.5mm crochet hook, which hopefully I can find. Okay, so we're going to be using a 2.5mm crochet hook to go with this yarn, but you can use any hook size that's suitable for the yarn that you are using. And you're also going to need some toy stuffing, so a little bit of toy stuffing. You won't need that much, and it's also a good idea to have a yarn needle with a big eye at the end, and a pair of scissors as well. Okay, so let's begin. So the colours that you'll need for all of these characters, other than the black, white and red, you'll need some green as well, some orange, this is if you want to make all of them, and some grey. So you only need 6 colours in total to make all the characters. So we're going to start off with some black yarn, so hopefully you'll be able to see this on camera okay, to make our little vampire's hair. So let's put him up there. Okay, so we're going to start off with a 4-chain loop. So we're going to do our little slip knot first. A little slip knot first. I'm going to put those off camera so my camera focus is better. Do a slip knot first, and then we're going to chain 4. So chain 1, 2, 3 and 4, chain 4, and we're going to put our hook into our first chain. So find your first chain just next to your slip knot, put your hook into there, bring the yarn through there and straight through the loop on your hook. That creates a little loop joined at the beginning and the end, and in the middle is a hole, as you can see there. Don't confuse it with your first chain hole, which can look quite big. You need to find that center hole. Then into there we're going to do 8 single crochets. This pattern's in US terminology, but a single crochet in UK terminology is a double crochet. So we're going to put our hook into that center hole, then bring the yarn through and just wrapping it around the chains, do a single crochet. Okay, and we want 8 of those. So that's 1, get back into the center, do another 1, 2, black's a nightmare on camera. I have to give him a different hair colour. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and another one, 8. Okay, so 8 single crochet, 2, 4, 6, 8. Just pull the tail in to bring in that hole a little bit. Then we want to find our first single crochet that we did. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just about to say, find your first single crochet, your first stitch. Put your hook into there. You can see that. Bring the yarn through that first single crochet and straight for the loop on your hook to do a slip stitch. So by the end of that first round you've got 8 single crochet. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do a little chain 1. We're not going to count that as a stitch. And starting in the same stitch you just slip stitched into, we do 2 single crochets. So go back into there, do 2 single crochet, 1 and another one in the same stitch. Okay, so 2 single crochet in there, then 2 single crochet in each stitch around. So go into your next stitch, do 2 single crochet, 1 and another one, and do 2 single crochet in each stitch around until you've got a stitch count of 16. So 2 in the next stitch, 5 and 6, 2 in the next, and the last stitch 15 and 16. So if you count as you go, that will help to make sure you've got the right number of stitches. So 16 should have something that looks like this. Then we're going to slip stitch into our first stitch. You should be able to see that stitch nice and easy. Do a little slip stitch into there. So by the end of round 2 you should have a stitch count of 16. Okay, for the next round what we're going to do, we're going to start off with a little chain 1, but don't count that as a stitch. Little chain 1. Then starting in the same stitch you just slip stitched into, go back into there, and do 1 single crochet. I'm going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around, so we're going to keep a stitch count of 16. So that's 1, next stitch 2, next stitch 3, 14, the last 2, 15 and 16. And if you're struggling to follow along because you're new to crochet, I do recommend checking out my beginner tutorials before trying out this one, because it's a little bit hard to see with the blacks. If you're not used to the single crochet, you might be a bit confused as to where the hook goes. So do check out my beginner tutorials, you'll see them on my channel. But what we're going to do, we're going to slip stitch into this first single crochet to join the round. So by the end of that round you still have a stitch count of 16, and you want to pop it out this way, away from you. I'm just going to trim down this tail end to get out of my way. And what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in the white yarn, you'll be pleased to know. Hopefully that shows up better. And we're going to place the white yarn over our hook. Just going to hold that with our finger, bring that through the loop on our hook, pull the black down, but we're going to keep using the black at the same time. So we're going to carry the black yarn, and we're going to start off in the same stitch you just slip stitched into, go back into there, and just placing your black yarn over the top of your hook so we carry it, bring the white through and do a single crochet. I'm going to do 1 single crochet in the first 7 stitches. So that's 1, next stitch 2, don't forget to carry the black by putting it on top of your hook, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then on the 7th one we're going to join the black again. So 7th single crochet, bring the white through, but instead of yarning over with the white, we're going to drop the white and bring up the black, which is hopefully just sat there as you've been carrying it. And we're going to yarn over with the black. Okay, then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the black in the next stitch, but we're going to carry the white instead, so put the white over the top of your hook. And instead of yarning over with the black, I'm going to drop the black, pick up the white again. It's all twisted. And we're going to yarn over with the white. So we've got 1 little black stitch, and that's just so he gets a little V shape in his hairline. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the remaining stitches back to the beginning in white. So 1 in each to the end. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. So you still have a stitch count of 16. Then when you're back at the beginning, find your first single crochet. Should be nice and obvious because it's white, and slip stitch into there. Okay, so you get a little V shape at the front there. We're going to cut the black yarn so it gets out of the way. Then what we're going to do 1 round in just the white. So start off with a little chain 1 again, don't count that as a stitch. Starting in the same stitch you just slip stitch into, do a single crochet and do 1 single crochet in each stitch around, keeping a stitch count of 16. 3, 4, 15, and the last one 16. Okay, and then slip stitch in your first single crochet to join the round, so you still have a stitch count of 16. Hopefully it looks a little something like this. This will be the front, that'll be the little V in his hairline. Okay, so moving on to the next round, what we're going to do now is we're going to create the arms. So we're going to do a little chain 1 to begin, and we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 4 stitches. So starting in the same stitch you slip stitched into, do a single crochet, so that's 1, and we're doing it in the first 4, so that's 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 1 single crochet in the first 4. Then we're going to chain 6. So chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Chain 6. We're going to slip stitch in our 4th chain from hook, so we don't count the loop on our hook. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Put your hook into that 4th chain, do a little slip stitch, and slip stitch in the last 2 chains as well, so you should have 2 left. Slip stitch in there and slip stitch in this last one. Okay, then find the next stitch on the main part, and we'll do 1 single crochet in the next 8 stitches. Next 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. I think I crocheted too fast for my camera to focus. And then we do another arm, so we're going to chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then in your 4th chain from your hook we do a slip stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4th chain, do a slip stitch, and then a slip stitch in the next chain, and a slip stitch in the last chain. Then you should have 4 stitches left. We're going to do 1 single crochet in the last 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to slip stitch in our first single crochet to join. Okay, so hopefully he's got some little arms. Just tucked his arm inside there. What we're going to do now is we're going to do one more round in the white, I think. I can't even remember what I did. What did I do? Yes, I did one more round in the white, and then we'll join the red. So do a little chain 1, and we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 4, starting in the same stitch you just slip stitched into. Single crochet in there. So that's 1. Next stitch, 2. Next stitch, 3. Next stitch, 4, and then that should bring you up to your arm, which this one's tucked inside. And what you want to do is you want to skip the arm. So this bit here, you need to find just to the left of your arm will be the stitch. What you want to do though is fold down the arm first before you put your hook in to there. So bring the yarn through, and as you bring it through, just pull that arm down and pull that tight. So his arm's on the outside. Do a single crochet. Then we're going to do a single crochet, 1 single crochet in the next 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that should bring you up to your other arm, which is tucked on the inside. And again, we need to find the little stitch to the left of the arm. We're going to fold down the arm, put our hook into there, bring the yarn through, and as you bring the yarn through, pull the arm down, pull your yarn tight, and do a single crochet. You should have 3 stitches left. Do 1 single crochet in the last 3. And then slip stitch in your first single crochet. Find your first single crochet and slip stitch into there. Okay, so we finished with the white. What we're going to do now is we're going to join the red. So just get our red, and we're going to place that over our hook and just hold that in place, and then bring that through the loop on our hook and pull the white. And now we're working with our red, and what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 rounds of just 1 single crochet in each stitch around, keeping a stitch count of 16. We'll do that for 3 rounds, and that's in the red. So starting in the same stitch you just slip stitched into, we're going to do 1 single crochet, tail end, 1 single crochet, and do 1 single crochet in each stitch around, keeping a stitch count of 16. I'm going to do that for 3 rounds. Okay, 3 rounds. So I should do that and I shall come back. Okay, it's coming up to the last stitch on the 3rd round. So you should still have a stitch count of 16. just doing 1 single crochet in each stitch round. Find your first single crochet and slip stitch into there to join the round. And then what we want to do is just pull up a loop, and we're going to stuff our little vampire. So grab a little bit of toy stuffing and just stuff your little vampire. You probably don't need to use that much stuffing. It's probably enough. Depends how fat you want to make him. Okay, that should be enough. And we're going to now close him up and create the feet. So the first thing to do is we're going to slip stitch. We're going to skip the last stitch we just slip stitched into. We're going to skip that one. I'm going to go into the next stitch and do a slip stitch. Then we're going to do a slip stitch in the next stitch as well. And we're going to do a slip stitch in the next stitch as well. Okay, which gets us over to the edge. Then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 4. So a single crochet in the next stitch, 1, next stitch 2, next stitch 3, and next stitch 4. So 1 single crochet in the next 4. And now what we're going to do is we're going to join the end of him. So we're going to put our hook into the next stitch and then find the corresponding stitch the other side. So easiest way to do that is count back 4 from that stitch there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll find that slip stitch that you made, that third one. Just put your hook into there as neatly as you can. Might be a little bit tight. Then bring the yarn through the slip stitch and through this stitch to join both sides. Do a little slip stitch. Then do the same in the next stitch. Find the corresponding stitch on the other side. And bring that through both stitches. And do it a third time. Go into the next stitch. Find that first slip stitch that you did, neatly as you can. Then into the next stitch, join that the other side, which will be that first stitch. If you can only go under 1 bit of yarn, that's okay. That should leave you with 4 stitches. We're going to do 1 single crochet in the last 4. So in the next stitch, do a single crochet. Be careful not to go through to the other side. You only want to go under that stitch. You don't want to join. So 1 single crochet in there. Then helps to flatten your work. Single crochet in the next stitch. Then coming round to the other side, single crochet in the next stitch. And that should leave you with 1 stitch left. Do a single crochet in there. Okay, then we can cut our yarn. Pull that through. Then get your yarn needle and tie in your tail end. So I'm going to go into that beginning stitch out through the centre. That nice and tight, then go back through the middle. You may want to sew up these ends, but you shouldn't get any stuffing coming out these tiny holes. Should be fine. Just come through there, any old stitch, and then push down, pull it tight, cut as close as you can. The tail end should disappear, whoops, on the inside. So there we are, there's the little main vampire without his cloak. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to probably do his face next, and to do that I'm going to get a little bit of black yarn again, and we're going to create some eyes. So a little bit of black yarn, short length of that, get your yarn needle, and what I'm going to do is on the other end leave about that much and tie a little knot. Can't even tie a knot. And one should be enough, hopefully. If your stitching is quite neat, one knot should be enough. You may want to do two, one on top of each other. Then go in about there, and then we're going to come out the other side. So go in where you want your eyes to be and come out where you want your other eye to be. And then that little knot should catch on the outside. Then we're going to create a knot this side, and to do that, I'm just going to put that over my finger, then coming underneath with my yarn needle, bring that through, and then as it gets close, because you want it to be close to the face, just put your finger on top of where the knot is and then pull, and keep doing that, and then that should create a little knot close to the face. Okay, then we want to hide. No, we don't want to hide, and do a little mouth next, don't we? So first thing I'm going to do is going to go to the back though. The reason for that, it'll be easy for me to work out where the mouth should be. So that little eye should be done. Ta-da. So a little mouth, I'm going to do just a little mouth here. So I'm going to start about there. So go back in where you came out and come out where you want your mouth to be. That should disappear on the inside. Then I'm going to come over to about there. I'll come out again on the back. That's going to be his little mouth. If you want it to smile, you can just sew it down slightly. So to do that, go back in where we came out, and you want to just pull this down. Just pull this down a little bit like that. Come out through the middle stitch, because I've sewn over by about 2 stitches. Come out for the middle stitch. Should just be on the inside. Pull that down. So pull that tight, so that's tight again. And just pull that down, and then just go slightly underneath, go back out on the back again, doesn't matter where, and that should pull the mouth down slightly. So there we go, so he's got a little bit of a smile, almost. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do some little fangs either side. Now this one here I actually did in black, but what I might do is I actually might do them in red this time, just to be different. But I'm just going to trim that down, pull it tight so it disappears on the inside. And I'm going to hide this tail end as well by just sewing that in. So go back in where the eye's going in, come out somewhere on the back, so that should disappear in there. And I might just come down here, just so it gets all caught on the padding on the inside, and then I can cut that down as well, hidden on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to do some little red fangs actually. I think that'll be cute. Cute? Would that be cute? Funny thing to call cute. So I get a bit of red yarn, and I'm going to start at the back, and I'm going to come out just about there, I think, just underneath the mouth. Stop that about there, so hide that tail end at the end, and I'm just going to go in through the black. Come the other side. Brilliant. And then go back in where I came out. Do the same again the other side. So about there. And then again, just up slightly into the black yarn and out the other side. There we go. That looks better, I think, than the black. It shows up better. Yeah, I definitely prefer that. And then just hide your tail ends. So I shall do that, and I come back and show you how to do the cloak. Okay, so fitting those tail ends. Okay, so all you need now is a little cloak. So I'm going to get some more black yarn, unfortunately, and we're going to chain 7. So it's quite quick to do this. But what we're going to do though is we're going to leave a little bit of a length there before we do our slip knot. That's so we can tie it up. Just do a little slip knot and chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then in your second chain from your hook, we don't count the loop on a hook, 1 and 2. In that second one, we're going to do a double crochet. So in UK terminology, that's a treble. 1 double crochet. I'm going to do 1 double crochet in the next chain as well. Then in the next chain, we're going to do a half double crochet. So in UK terminology, that's a half treble. Just pull through all 3. Move you out of the way because you're focusing on the wrong bit. A half double crochet in the next chain as well. Then you should have 2 chains left, and we're going to do a single crochet in the last 2. 1 single crochet. And the last one. Okay, and we do a little chain 1. Don't count that as a stitch, and turn. Then in that first stitch, we do 1 single crochet. We do 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Then we do 1 half double crochet in the next 2. So you're just following the same pattern. So 1 half double crochet in the next 2, and then the last 2 stitches a double crochet. So double crochet in there, and a double crochet in this last one, which is kind of on the corner a bit. Okay, then chain 1, don't count that as a stitch, and turn. This time we do 1 double crochet in the first 2. So it's 1, and next stitch a double crochet. Then a half double crochet in the next 2. It's 1, next stitch 2. And a single crochet in the last 2. 1 single crochet in the last 2. We're going to follow this pattern twice more. So chain 1, turn, 1 single crochet in the first 2. Then 1 half double crochet in the next 2. Double crochet in the last 2. Then last row, chain 1, turn, 1 double crochet in the first 2. Half double crochet in the next 2. And 1 single crochet in the last 2. So your 2 tail ends should end at the same end. 1 single crochet. Okay, so you should end the same end as where this tail end is. And then leave it a bit of yarn there. Pull that through. You should have a little cape. Ta-da! And all we need to do is just tie this onto him. And you may want to sew it into place so it doesn't come off, but you can just do a couple of knots. Like so, and then just trim down. If you don't want to sew it into place, you can just trim down the tail ends. I think I might just sew this into place first. Just push that down a bit, go through to his keep. And then I'll trim it down. There we go. And there he is. Our little vampire. Definitely looks better with red for the little teeth. So I hope you managed to follow along. I hope you managed to see the black enough. But all the other characters, like I said, will be written up and put on my website later today, so do check that out at happyberry.co.uk, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well, so you can have all the updates for everything I'm working on, and competitions as well. There's a competition running over there at the moment as well to win a yarn pack. But I'll see you soon for some more crochet fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. I want fun block.